Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Care Anywhere. I'm your host, Lea Sims from True Merit. I am joined here by colleagues from Hong Kong and China. We are on the floor of the International Council of Nurses 2025 Congress here in beautiful Helsinki. We're recording some special episodes this week during the conference, and so excited to see everyone nursing from around the world here at ICN. So I'd love to introduce our guests today, Professors Zhou and Fung. I'd love to have you guys introduce yourselves to our audience and let them know who you are and what you're doing. Yeah.
Hi, everybody. It's hello from Helsinki. I'm Sylvia Fung from Hong Kong. I'm now the president of the Academy of Nursing and Midwifery in Hong Kong, and I've been a nurse for half a century. So I would like to share my experience with all of you, what is happening in our part of the world. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Alice Zhou. I'm Zhou Ying. I'm a professor from Guangzhou Huashang University, School of Medical and Nursing Faculty. I'm a former dean of the School of Nursing, Guangzhou Medical University. I have been a dean in the School of Nursing, and also I have been a clinical nurse and the head nurse in a hospital. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. One of the questions we ask all of the nurses on our podcast, because we're always inspired by the stories of how people get into healthcare and choose nursing as a profession. What inspired you to become a nurse and to spend your career caring for people in the profession of nursing?
In fact, I go into nursing by chance. Originally, I want to enroll into architecture. I want to be an architect. But unfortunately, at that time, females are not that welcome in that trade and industry. Yeah, architect. So I joined my classmate and enrolled in the nursing program. And I'm lucky enough to be a nurse now.
You said for half a century. That's a long time. How'd you get into the profession?
Yeah, you said I love nursing. I love to be a nurse because I have a younger brother who is unable, and my mother care my younger brother very good, and caring the younger brother and love my younger brother and give self-compassion to my younger brother. So that's why I want to be a nurse, to care other people, to give my love to the disabled people. I just want to learn from my mother.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, I have been to nurse for 43 years already.
That's quite a while too.
Yeah, nurses and nurse educator. Yeah.
We hear that a lot from nurses, that they're inspired by a family member that was sick or had to be cared for, and it compels them to want to enter the profession and make a difference in people's lives. That's great. I'd love to know more about how your nursing careers have led you to where you are today, and some of the career paths that has taken you. We have a lot of nurses that listen to our podcast that are new to the profession or just entering the profession, and they want to know what are the opportunities for me as a nurse, and what does my career path look like? And every nurse that I talk to has a different career path. There's a lot of places to go and things to, whether it's education or bedside care. So talk a little bit about your career and all of the half a century of nursing that you've done.
Okay, I take 3 minutes for my half-century career. I start off as a clinical nurse after graduation. But at that time, I think that I'm not competent enough to teach a student. I'm a midwife at that time. So I want to be more educated to educate other people. So I left the profession and take up a education course for 2 years. And then I come back as a midwife tutor. So I start off my journey half and half as a clinical midwife and then a midwife tutor. And after almost 10 years in education, there was a great transformation of healthcare system in Hong Kong. And all the hospital, government-funded hospital, was integrated into a hospital authority. And it was at that time that management has to be transformed. And I was told I was taken out from the nursing school and posted as the manager in the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology. So it just turned overnight that I changed from a teacher to a manager. and then I stayed in the management post for almost 20 years, from a small manager at the department level. And then I was promoted as the general manager of the whole hospital. And then they give me another 2 hospitals to be managed, and then 7.
Wow.
So it grew from 1 to 2 to 7, and then eventually they give me 43.
From
For the
7
whole-
to 43.
That
That's a
whole
big jump.
hospital authority. So I was the chief nurse of hospital authority at that time. And after retirement, I go back to education, and I take up the professorship in the college and continue my nursing education role then. So it's just quite a headset
Yeah.
role,
Yes.
and it's very contextual. It faced a lot of changes and transformation at
I
that
can
time.
imagine. Yep.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you. Professor Chow.
Yeah, thank you. I was a nurse when I was very young, just 18 years old in West China University of Phoenix Hospital. It's a top hospital in West China. I have been a medical surgical nurses for 13 years in a hospital. And then I started in the Hong Kong Polytechnic for the nurse education for 2 years. After that, I come back to the hospital to be a head nurse in a surgical ward. After that, I transformed to the Guangzhou to work as the president of medical university, secretary of the president of the medical university. I have also worked as an associate director in the hospital management department in the medical university in Guangzhou. And after that, I go to study the master degree in psychiatry. After that, I also go to study the PhD. Yeah, use another 3 years. After that, I work in the university to be a faculty member. Firstly, I've been an associate professor and professor now, also as a PhD fellow, coach, PhD supervisor. Yeah, I've been teaching for nearly 30 years. Yeah, and I have been a surgical nurse for nearly 13 years already. Yeah, I love nursing. And there's many changes in China, especially for the health system reformation. Yeah, and the nursing changes a lot in China. It's quite different as compared to the past years. Yeah, I'm be proud of being a nurse. Yeah, thank you.
I'd love to talk about those changes a little bit, but I wanted to ask you, Dr. Fung, about your Red Cross Florence Nightingale medal. I was reading about online. How did you earn that, and what did that mean to you?
In fact, that medal belongs to all the 60,000 nurses in Hong Kong.
Beautiful.
Before that, we faced a pandemic of SARS at that
Yes.
time, 2003. And all the nurses in Hong Kong are so devoted, committed, and they spare no energy in caring for patients, despite we know nothing about the SARS influenza virus. So everybody is working very hard. And after that, we also have a help network with mainland, and they give us a lot of help, and we form a very close network and relationship with them. So after SARS, we welcome the colleagues from the mainland, and we hope that we can align the level and move together at one goal to serve our whole country and the whole region. So, in fact, the Foreign Nightingale Award should belong to 60,000 nurses in Hong Kong.
Wow.
And I thank them, every one of them.
That's amazing. Thank you. That's so inspiring. So inspiring. Both of you have long careers, very passionate about education and teaching and raising up the next generation of nurses that come through. Let's talk about the nursing profession and the way you've seen it evolve, specifically in China and Hong Kong. You talk about the differences between nursing when you entered the profession versus today. What do those changes look like? What was the landscape before? And, talk about how the nursing profession has evolved where you are.
No, me first. The nursing in Hong Kong, in fact, come from the British system. And so at the start, we have inherited the military and all the missionary characteristic of nursing in Hong Kong. So nurses in Hong Kong have been obedient, hardworking, selfless, and unreserved in serving the people in Hong Kong. So at that time, one thing that I have learned being a student nurse for 3 years is self-discipline. Because during my secondary education schooling, we are very free. Hong Kong is well known for its freedom.
Yes.
So we are free. But at the time when I entered the profession, I have to learn how to discipline myself. All this uniform and all these protocols shape us into the model that is desirable, in quotation, by the public. So by the time I left the hospital authority, things have changed a lot. We are not only serve as a caring profession in the traditional way, but we also embark on the AI, technology, innovation, and that is the direction that we are moving forward. So the direction is still a lot. And hopefully we will also serve the public in good terms.
Yeah. So honoring the old, but embracing the new,
Yes.
the innovation. Yes.
Exactly.
Beautiful.
Yeah, as change in China's nursing changed greatly. Yeah, a lot of as traditional nurses just focus on the skill training, but nowadays the nurses must be taught both skill and their self-compassion and the attitude and humanistic. Yeah, as well as nursing's clinic practices change a lot, especially nurses' role is expanded nowadays, not only in the hospital, but also in the family as well as community-based nursing. Nurses' role expanded a lot, not just a clinical nurse, but nurse researcher and nurse specialist, as well as a nurse educator. As the advancement of technology, AI applied in the nursing education as well as clinical nursing widely used, as well as the e-health and digital health.
Digital health.
Yeah, were widely used in the hospital. So the nursing curriculum and nursing training could be adapted to the advancement of the technology.
Yes.
Yeah, so the curriculum innovation is very important. So as a nurse educator, we try focus to training students with innovation critical thinking, especially clinical critical thinking, as well as evidence-based nursing. Yeah, as China has a huge aging population, we must train the nurses for a well-trained used to the to care the disabled people.
Right.
Yeah, there's a huge population of abled people. There's a shortage of the geriatric nurses. Yeah.
And rehabilitation nurses too.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, rehabilitation nurses. Yeah, yeah. I think the policy impact of the nurse's voice is more louder or sounder than before. Yeah. We try to influence the policy making. You see, nowadays the public repute, public respect to nurses, especially after the COVID-19, for the 3 years, and the people see the importance of the nursing forces. And not just caring for the people, promote the health of the people, and increase the health of people, as well as promote the economic development. We are the backbone of the healthcare professional. Yes, thank you.
Yes. Oh, so much of what you just said there has resonated with what we're hearing from so many nurses, the visibility around the profession. I tell people all of the time, there's probably never been a better time to become a nurse, to choose nursing as a profession. I know it varies from country to country, but I see nurses having more influence, more voice at the table when it comes to care model evolution and decision making around how the profession is going to evolve and how curriculum development will evolve with it. You're incorporating more tech literacy and, as you said, more critical thinking. We hear that quite frequently. Thank you so much for sharing that. We are closing out our episode now. I'd love to ask you both, what's top of mind for you coming into ICN? What are you hoping to get out of this event while you're here, contribute and take home with you when you leave this week?
I think as Professor Zhou said, unity, and we are unified to speak in one voice is very important. With these volumes of attendance, all the government will not take us lightly. So we have a loud voice to speak, and especially on the universal health coverage, and that is very important for the health of the people. And we do not only want longevity, we want to have a healthy lives expectancy.
Absolutely.
So that's where the nurses are so important here.
Thank you. I want to meet more people, and I want to listen to a very interesting research in the nursing education as well as clinical nursing, especially AI application in the nursing. I like to know the future developmental trends of the nursing, especially the ICN is a very important platform for the nursing reform. That's why I come to here. Actually, yesterday, Professor Fung and me, we meet the School of Nursing Dean and Professor in Finland, Helsinki University, as well as meet the professor from the USA, and meet new friend and old friend. It's really a very critical platform to unify the nursing profession together. Thank you.
Powerful. This is my first ICN, and I thought the opening ceremonies the other night, the Parade of Nations, was so inspiring when you really can visualize the global impact of nursing and how important it is to every person, every nation, every culture. So I think you've summed that up so well. I did want to thank you and let our audience know that you have contributed to the process we are going through in developing a global competency exam for nurses. And how do you think that will impact the profession to have a certified global nurse competency framework that's not specific to one country, but really is common and encompassing to nursing skill set? Can you talk about that a little bit?
In view of the mobility of nurses nowadays, and the world is getting smaller and smaller, I think a unified standard is very important to ensure people that whoever is called a nurse will be a nurse of that standard. And also, in terms of workforce globally, we have to plan at that level. individual country has its own difficulty, but workforce planning should be done at a global view.
Yes.
Because of the mobility of the nurses and individual need of the country. So I think a universal standard for qualified nurses are as important as the skills.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, I think the unified standard for the nursing practice is very important, as well as for the unified nursing education standard is also very important, because nowadays it's a society with a globalized, and people, you see,
Yes.
travel here and there, especially Macau, Hong Kong, and Guangdong. We just merge and deep collaboration. So we need a standard, especially for the globalized standardization that will promote the nurse education in different countries, promote the nursing practice in different countries. But I think we should tailor it and adapt to the China context to use the standardization. Because China is such a big country, the nurses in the urban and rural places, the practice content is quite different, and the nursing force, manpower force is quite different. Because in China we have more than 5 million nurses now. But it's still there's a lackage of manpower for the nurses. So that's why we need to elevate the nursing programs. Increase the nursing programs to cultivate more bachelor degree graduates and diploma graduates. And also we need to enlargement of the master degree program, PhD program. So I think as an educator, I have a lot of things to do to dedicate the nurses training. It's my mission, my whole life mission to training good nurse for China, because we have a Chinese dream to be a happiness China, especially the healthy China 2030 plan.
The 2030 plan.
2030 plan for China. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So inspiring. Thank you for sharing your experience, your careers, and your heart and passion, not only for nursing, but developing nursing as a profession, nursing education and training, and how it's evolving. We appreciate your careers and effort and influence, and also your time with us today. So thank you so much for being here. That wraps up this episode. Thank you guys for joining us. If you are still here at ICN, please come by and see us at the True Merit booth. We're at booth P2A. It's the very first one that you'll see when you walk into the exhibit hall. And if this is the first time you're listening to one of our episodes, you can find all of our podcast episodes on truemerit.org/podcast. Thanks, and we'll see you next time. That's it for this episode of Care Anywhere. Thanks for joining us. We hope you'll tune in for future episodes where we will continue these powerful discussions about our global health workforce. If you missed any episodes, you can find them at truemerit.org/podcast or by subscribing to our channel on your favorite podcast platform. Just look for our podcast logo or search for Care Anywhere to find us. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.